Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the class for today. Today, we're learning Edmodo. Edmodo is a great system for teachers and students to interact in a virtual classroom. It is a learning management system, and let's straight head to the presentation, and then we'll take you hands-on to the entire session. I'm going to share with you a presentation now. I'd also like to, alongside, tell you the format of how we'll be doing this is that if you have any questions at any point, please feel free to drop it in the chat box, and I will be checking on the questions every 20 minutes and answering it for you. Okay, so this is about MakkSkills. Let's get to Edmodo. So what is Edmodo? What is Edmodo? It is a free social networking for teachers, students, and schools. Many of you do already know what Facebook is. Edmodo is often called the Facebook for a teacher-student forum, right? It provides an engaging platform for blended learning and safe, productive social networking. Founded in 2008, it's now transforming classrooms for millions of people worldwide. Now, we do understand that most of us have started looking at more ways to engage with our students and for students to understand subjects from their teachers, especially in this year when we've all been stuck at home with the corona having hit us. So, this is a new learning tool for all of us. And why not they make the best of what technology has to offer and still try to be safe in our own homes. So Edmodo is a safe and easy way to connect, exchange ideas, share contact, and access homework grades. Now, as teachers and educators, it's most important for you all to be able to, once you've taught the class, let's say you've conducted a Zoom session, then what happens? How do you take this class forward? So you've done a science class on Zoom, and now you need to, throw in some grades, you need to conduct a quiz and so many other features that, one would do in a classroom. That's exactly what Edmodo will help us to create a virtual classroom. Okay, so what Edmodo gives us is a teacher view and a student view. So for all you educators here, we're going to be teaching you mostly the teacher's view, but we will also reflect upon and show you what the student view looks like so that it's easy for you to know what the student is really viewing. Okay, this is the student view, and we'll come to this in just a bit. Edmodo's top tools and features. When I was writing, these points on this presentation, it was a little hard for me to filter out what I should, because there are lots of tools and features that we all should know about. I'm not going to touch upon all of them right now because I would like to go to the interface, tell you more about it on a practical, hands-on way, and then come back to this. So Edmodo's top tools and features are primarily easy to monitor student interaction, to be able to grade them, to be able to give them quiz and homework. It has a built-in survey tool. You can survey, like we sent you all a Google form to understand whether we should do the class at 4 or 5. Edmodo has one within it for classroom management, and it can maintain a personal connect between the teacher and the student without still acting on, changing the privacy for the teacher. So you can message a teacher whose class you're allowed in. So therefore, there are lots of norms that Edmodo has created to ensure that you have a secure learning and teaching format with your students. And the very good thing for especially the younger grades is that the parents can also have an account, and they can sort of see what all the teacher is taught and what is it that is pending from the student's point of view. So I believe for all of us as growing up, our parents spend a lot of time teaching us and also monitoring what are the remarks that have come from the teacher and so on. So Edmodo allows parents to be able to view what the teacher wants them to view. So the parents are also in loop where needed, and a lot of content in terms of, ebooks, so a lot of things like that can be shared with the class. I'm going to come to each of these features in just some time because I'd like to take you straight to the interface. Security is also very important, and I'd like to tell you that as teachers you would be extremely concerned about how an online software would work when you're having a conversation with your students. The communications are archived, and students can join class only by your invitation, right? So if you're a teacher, you have to invite a student or give them a particular code, and that's the only way they can attend it. again, I'm going to script this presentation now because I'd like to take you straight to the Google Chrome to show you how it really works. When I'm going to stop share right now. I saw 2-3 messages cropping up on chat. Is it a free software, Vibha? Absolutely, Vibha. It is a free software. I'm going to now share my screen and take you to here. Okay. So give me a moment and I'm going to open a new file. Okay. So I'm going to share screen here. So like we always say, the easiest thing when you have to look for something is always to go to google.com and search the word that we're looking for. So we're looking for a software called Edmodo, right? So that's one way to go into the software, Edmodo. When we click, that's the first thing we find here, we can click on it, or of course, we can directly put on our Internet Explorer or any web browser that you have, we can write edmodo.com. For any of you who think I'm going a little fast, please do stop me. Please mention on chat and I will try and keep it slow. So basically what we're doing is we've started the hands-on training just now as we speak. I was showing you a presentation earlier. This is Edmodo and we've come to edmodo.com, right? Now, either I can log in if I already have a login ID or I can simply sign up. Here, now when I say sign up, it gives me a couple of options. Teacher account, student account, or parent account. Like I said, of course, while Edmodo is a teacher-student interaction platform, you will always have a parent option as well to come into that. So since primarily most of you are teachers, let me take you through the teacher's account. So I'm going to double click on the teacher's account. Now I have to create a teacher's account here. This was something that was created earlier. So I'm going to write an email address. One moment, please. I'm just writing an email address that so most of my email addresses already have an account here, while because I'm a teacher for Edmodo, I have been using my different accounts. So let me try a different account. Okay, it requires a password. It's already taken. So doesn't matter. That's okay. So all you really have to do is put in your email address, put in your password and sign in. School code is optional. If your school has created an Edmodo school account, then you can always have a school code and then you can enter in. So I'm going to enter into something that is already made. So because I'll have to log in, therefore, just a moment. I'm going to go to sign up. Yeah. So this is the way, let me repeat it once again. You'll get options of logging in or signing up. For sign up, as you are a teacher, you will go to the teacher account and write your details. I already have an account, 2-3 accounts in fact. So I'm going to take you to what it looks like when I'm inside an account. Okay. Okay, it's loading Edmodo. I'm going to, so here I have a few classes and I'm going to try and just delete these classes so that, we can, yeah. So I have a few classes that I'm going to remove in some time. Basically, this is what my interface looks like. When you log in for the first time or you sign up for the first time, you will have nothing mentioned at classes and nothing mentioned at groups, right? And it will be an absolutely blank page for you. So just a moment, let me just say I'm right at the home page right now. And I'm going to go into a class right now for a moment and I'm going to just close it so that I can teach you how to create, or I can actually start a new class right now. Okay, so coming back to edmodo.com, here are quite a few things that we can do. Firstly, I want to give you a picturesque example of how when you enter Edmodo and when you're on the home page screen right now, it's like entering a college, okay, or any institution or a school, right? When you enter a particular class, that's exactly like how you would physically enter into a class. Okay, so you as a teacher could have a few classes, but I'm going to start with creating a class. So this is my, it says Ruchi Chopra, and I'm going to click on this. It's blank because I haven't filled in a lot of things, but I'm going to now do it along with you all. Here, so it says Ruchi Chopra, and what is it that I can fill in my profile? Okay. Now, I can either put a photograph. I have to put verify my password for the photograph. You can put a photograph here by just uploading one right here, right? Now, Just give me a moment. I would like to actually take you to an account which is, I've brought you actually now to the student view. Let me just take you back to logging out, and I'm going to enter from the teacher's view. Just a moment. I'm going to stop share and see if there's any question that's important to address right now. Thanks, Ambika. Okay. Nikita, limitation on number of students and teachers doesn't exist. You can have as many students as you like in your class. Let me go back to sharing screen and let me log in as a teacher. Sorry, I logged in as my student account. So this is a teacher's account. Okay. The look will be a little different. So here, so when I clicked on my profile, I can always upload this picture and change it to whatever else I like. It asks you to verify. MakkSkills Education, 3 students taught. Let's ignore all of that. About, okay? So a short bio to tell people more about yourself. So maybe I can add a bio here. I'm a teacher with over a decade, or with experience of over a decade, right? And so on and so forth, and you can write more about yourself. Okay, so it tells us here, like it tells us in any other, you know, whether we're signing up for Gmail or anything, what all have we filled in. So I filled in my profile picture, which you saw here. I can always go and click and update it. I've added my bio. I think experience is always a good thing, because you know, as a student also, it's good to know how experienced your teacher is. So I can always add experience, the name of the institution I have taught in, for example. What was my title there? Okay, I'm writing, so National Institute of Fashion Technology. That is my institute, right? It's right here. I just saw it just a moment. I spelled institute wrong. So National Institute of Fashion. I just saw it coming. Maybe it's, I'm not sure why it's not coming now, but that's fine. So New Delhi, for example. Okay, and here it is, National Institute of Fashion Technology. I can say creative design teacher, and so on and so forth. So which year was I there? And how long did I work there, and what were my responsibilities? It is great to add that. I'm going to cancel this because I'm not writing the full information. Okay. Or I can just save. Okay. The reason it's not giving me, I'm going to cancel it. Okay. So as a teacher, you can fill in as much as you like. If you'd like to give your Twitter and LinkedIn details, you could, because they are more formal agendas of conversation, right? If you have a schedule to share with your teachers, I think the schedule will depend on each class. So I don't think you should write it here unless you are, teacher for a particular class only. Like, you know, some younger students have class teachers that teach everything. So in that case, you can always add your schedule. And of course, education and other details. So as much as you want to about yourself. There's one thing here that I think you all should enter, which is interests. What are your interests? And I'll get to that in just a minute. Here, so right under about, there is also interests. Now it says it's only visible to you, right? So I can go and click on it, and I can select whatever it is that interests me. So let's say science, special education, health, and PE. Okay, so these are my 3 spaces of interest, and I'm going to click on these, and I'm going to say save. Now it clearly tells you that this is only visible to you. So you can be a maths teacher, but you can also have interest in science. That's perfectly fine, and you can enter that is only for your own profile. That's not visible to everyone. And I'll tell you the importance of why we fill in interests here in just a bit. So what we're learning is how to use this distance education system. It's called Edmodo. We just signed in from a teacher's profile, right? And like I said, when you come to Edmodo main page into your profile, it's like entering your college. Now, if you can ignore all that is written right here, we'll come to that in a bit. And I'm going to create a class now. Okay, I'm also going to request you to ignore some of the classes that are created, because I had done that in my previously. It will be blank for you, all classes. There'll be nothing under classes. There'll be nothing under groups when you're teaching, because if you're starting out on Edmodo. So if I go to the 3 dots here, it says create class. Okay, so I'm going to say my class is about history. Describe your class, a world history. Okay, post World War. or I can write that in specification. So world history. I'm going to select my grade. My grade is a higher education, which is why I'm teaching them world history. So 11th grade, or I can use a range, which means that maybe my subject or my class can be attended by first and second graders or class 11 and 12, right? Sometimes often teachers do have combined classes, especially you're talking about a subject like world history. You could probably loop in class 11 and 12 together, or higher education, it could be year 1 and year 2 of college and so on. So that's up to you. So I'm going to just pick on one, grade 11, and select my subject right here. So I'm going to say world languages. I have a sub-subject. I'm going to talk about whatever the options are, right? Now color, I'm going to make the color purple. Okay, and say create class, right? So right now on the left, you will see my classes. It would, here we are. Welcome to history. What's next? Now that's the class I've just created. We recommend adding your students now so they can start participating in your class. Okay. So now I'm a teacher. I've started out. Okay. I'm going to stop share and see what other questions that are coming in. Okay. Charmeen is asking, what is the school code? School code, Charmeen, will be given by, so what happens is, for instance, nowadays schools tend to take the G Suite account, right? So then it becomes under the banner of the school, right? What is school code? You don't have to fill that. That is optional. When we tried to sign up, we did get the option of school code, but it was optional. So if your school has a code, if they have an arrangement with Edmodo and they've taken a sort of school package, then you can get a school code, and maybe all you teachers fill in one code, so it automatically creates the school. You don't have to fill that. You can let it be, and it's your school. How is school code given? So again, Vibha, if you're the head of the organization, we'll come to that in just a bit. So school code is created separately for an entire school, or I can create a code saying, if I'm with Mahavidyalay Jamshedpur, so MVJ, right? Mahavidyalay Jamshedpur. So I can say MVJ01, and all the teachers can continue filling the same school code, and then the organization comes together, right? Are students required to have an account in Edmodo? Milind, absolutely. It's very essential, because that's why the teachers are coming here. They're coming to teach the students. So of course they will have to have an account, and I will show you the students' account alongside, right? Okay. Is this only for academic subjects or core curricular also? Pushkala is asking. Pushkala, I want to tell you that it is for core curricular as well, in the sense that if you saw, there was physical education as a point. So it can be about any topic. It's really about how you use it for your own subjects, right? So I'm going to go back now to sharing screen here. So I just created a class in history class. So it says, welcome to history. What's next? Add students. Okay. So there are two things I can do. I want to go back again, once again. One second. So it says either add students or explore class. So before I add my students, maybe I would like to, put a few things in place before it's like in a traditional school, the class teacher might write a few things on the blackboard before everybody enters. It's exactly like that. So I'm going to click on explore. And of course, there's a class code here, which we're going to talk about. Let's add a class image. So when I want my students to join this page, I want them to have a class image. So let's see. I've taken out a few images here, for instance. So let's put this, for instance. So you might have a class photo, or you might want to put something interesting, whatever you'd like. And I've put this class image. I'll show it to you once again. When I came in, it said add class image, and I have just added it. It'll take probably a minute to come in. As you can see, it already has come in. So I said MakkSkills Education is my account. So it will be your teachers, of course. It could say Mrs. Sharmila Rao. World languages is the subject, and it's for 11th grade. History, and purple is the color given to it. Now class code is right here, and we're going to come to that very soon. I can always change class image, remove class image, change class color, invite people, and go to other settings. That's fine. This is the joining URL, right? So how do I now? I've created a class, okay? I'm going to create some conversation before I bring a child in. Start a discussion. When did the World War end? Why don't I create a poll about it? Okay, so before they come in, when did World War II end? Okay, 1923, 1918, 9, add an option. Okay, and now I'm creating a poll on my history class even before somebody came in. 1999, whatever else, right? Anything. When did World War end? And I'm going to post this. Okay, so what I'm essentially doing is actually writing on a blackboard before somebody comes in. So I've not invited any students to my class yet, but I'm just prepping up my class already. Okay, and I'd also like to share with them, okay, start a discussion or share class material. So I'm going to go to Google and take out some documentation about World War. So I want them to read up a little before my class. Okay, so World War II, Germany, right here. So maybe I want them to read about what Wikipedia says about World War, and I'm going to copy this link. Yeah, so I went to Google, I picked up a link that I want them to see, and I've posted it here. Okay, it's loading a preview. I've just posted a link here, and it's automatically loading a preview. This image has come automatically from posting the link. So I post this. Okay, so I've done a post that I'd like them to read this. Okay, and I've also created a poll. Okay, so this is my class. I am a teacher. I am on Edmodo. I've created a class with a subject, and I have written a few material. Okay, now here is the class code. So once again, either I can copy this class code, copy it, okay, or when I click here, share a PDF or invite by email. So let's say I'm going to invite by email. Okay, I'm going to send one email. I want to show you how that email will look to the student. Got it? And I've also copied the class code. Okay, I've just copied it. So if you have a messaging system in your phone where you're doing this from, you can always keep that handy. Now I'm going to go to Gmail, open that email, and I want to show you what it looks like. Just give me a moment. I'm going to just open this email just to show you what it's really looking like. I'm signing into the email so that I can show you what it looks like. So as a student, if I'm getting this email, my teacher has just invited me for a class. How is it that I'm going to get that mail? It's happening live in front of you all. So you know, here, Edmodo, MakkSkills Education invited you to join history group in Edmodo, right? So this is my join MakkSkills Education's in history on Edmodo. Okay, okay, accept the invitation. Okay, I can accept the invitation and I can go on to Edmodo. Now, if you'll excuse me, I am just going to sign out of my teacher's account. I've copied the link, if you remember. I've copied the class code, and I want to show you if I'm a student. I'm going to log in as a student, okay? Here, let me show you the sign up option, okay? When I sign up as a student account, please note, it's absolutely essential. One second. It is essential for me to have a class code, okay? So I can have a class code and it says password is required. Okay, I have a class code and I put a password. I can call myself RC. It's too short, so I'll call it R Chopra. Okay, username is taken. Okay, I'll do 12. Okay, okay. So I have just posted the class code. Just want to tell you that remember, as a student, I do not have to have an email address to be logging into Edmodo. I have just given myself a username. I've given my password. Okay, and the code is essential. So as a student, the code is most essential. Email is not needed. If you don't have an email address, you could be a class 3 child and don't have an email address. It's perfectly fine. You just need the class code. Maybe your parents can pass that on to you, and you can straight away just put the class code, your name, username, and it says confirm the password. And oh, passwords don't match. Maybe they will now. Okay, and create your account. Okay, save it. So I have just signed up as a student, and I'm showing you the student view. Why? Because I think it's important for you all to know what the student is viewing. Okay, so complete your profile. Okay, so I'm just going to fill anything right here, right now. It's too old. Let's make me a little younger. Yeah. Okay. Parents' mobile number, this is optional, or your parents' email address. I can give it as MakkSkills@gmail.com. And you can also skip this step, remember, because every child doesn't have to have this. Now, here I am. I'm a student. I just logged in. I signed up for the first time to your class. Yours is a history class, and you've just invited me for it. And here I am. I already have these two questions right in front of me, because the only class code I have, because that's the only class I attended, or I have the code of. So I've just signed up as a new student, and history is already a part of my classes because my teacher has invited me for it. If your teacher doesn't invite you, you cannot, attend a class. And if I am being notorious and the teacher, MakkSkills, wants to kick me out and they delete me out of the class, I will never be able to enter that class again, right? So that's the one thing. It's just like how, in the olden times, when students were being notorious, they were sent out of class to be standing outside. Similarly, the teacher has full discretion to send a student out of class, and that's really what it is. Okay, so now MakkSkills posted to history. Okay, so I can click on this link and open it and read all that I want to. Okay, I understand the teachers posted this for a reason, and MakkSkills Education posted to history. Okay, now what is when did the World War end? I'm going to say 1923. Okay, and I'll say vote. Okay, now obviously the vote is going to show me 100% because I'm the only one who's done it. Okay, great. So now this is to show you the student account, right? And I have nothing else here, nothing on the left, nothing on the right. I have not, put my profile picture here. So it's all blank canvas. I can pull in all these details later. I am going to log out and come back to the teacher's account. But before I do that, let me understand. Let me understand if there's any question that you all have. I'm just going to stop share and see. Okay, Nikita has asked that what is the difference between Google Classroom and this app? There's a lot of difference, Nikita. A Google Classroom has the whole option of, just one minute, the Google Classroom has the entire option of being in the class. It's like a Zoom class, right? So Google Classroom and Zoom are very similar in that way, in the sense that Google Meet allows you to talk and Google Classroom allows you to create a classroom. So look, Nikita, when we talk of any subject, right, whether it's Zoom or it's, Facebook, or there's so many, every software. Just a moment, please. Just a moment. I'm just going to yeah, sorry. Yeah. So there, every software, there obviously, various options you can always have. When it comes to graphics, when it comes to creating a video, there's always enough options in any software that you might have. So I can't say which one is better. Like that way, Google Classroom or Zoom are two softwares. The whole thing about it's what you really get used to. So I can't say which one is, Google Meet is better or Zoom is better. It's hard to say. It's honestly what you get used to and what you're comfortable with. We use Zoom, for instance, as as a teaching mode because we're comfortable with it. So it's hard to say. How is it different from Google Classroom? Here we're not having direct conversation, as in there's no video available in Edmodo, right? So you could have had a Zoom conversation or a Google Meet conversation, but your entire class, in terms of your homeworks, your grading, your quiz, your polls, and everything off the screen will be on Edmodo. So that's what it really does. Okay, Ambika is asking, the password used was sent by you. My question is, how is the password set for students signing for the first time? So you set it yourself, right? So right now, what was sent to me by the teacher was a code, and I set my own username password. Yeah. Yeah. So the password I created right here, right in front of you all. It wasn't sent by me. Only the group code was sent to me, which was a code for the class. Yeah. Yeah. Lakbir Verma is asking, why Edmodo advantages explain. I'm going to come to that. I had left that from the presentation because I want to show you the whole interface. But actually, why don't I take you back to the presentation right now? Yeah. So why Edmodo, right? Here. Okay. Teachers and students can collaborate in a secure and closed environment, of course. A message board allows secure and open communication that can be monitored and controlled by the teacher. So it's important to know, just a moment, sorry. It's important to know that you can, the control is in the hands of the teacher, right? You post assignments, you have assessments, every thing that it's really in the hands of the teacher, which is important. Built-in survey tool that can be used to check understanding, whether you want to ask about, is everyone excited for the exams, or do you want to ask about when do you want to have the class party. You can create a poll right then, right there. Or like I posted a World War question, right? So it's really up to you, that you can do a lot of engagements with your students, and that all those options exist in Edmodo, right? Okay, folder sharing allows teachers to share all content. So we can share an entire folder, we can share a file, and I'm going to show you how. Teachers can maintain a personal content library as well, right? So as a teacher, you can have some content available, and I'll show you where that library exists. And I'm going to show you a few more things. So I'm going to go back to the presentation, and in Google Classroom, there are no parent user. Yes, Shivalila, there are no parent users. I'm going to take you back to Edmodo now. Okay, so here I am at Edmodo, right? I'm back on the teacher's account. Now, I just talked about how a teacher can have their own library. Yes, they can. And here it is right on top. When you click on library, I already have a few things here. To-dos for 12th grade, plays by Shakespeare, my quizzes, my assignments. This is a set module. They give you options of my assignments. Now, I can double click on it and add an assignment. So I can do either a file upload. I'm going to choose files. Okay, so to tell you once again, from the Edmodo interface, I went to library and I said, let me create something new. I want to do a file upload of, let me choose some file, or I can also choose a folder, right? So I can either choose a file, a play by somebody, right? This is Shakespeare play, or a folder. So folder name, things to keep handy, study material handy for history. Okay, select grade. I should know that what is this study material for, and it's for world languages. So I'm going to add a folder here. Okay, here I'm going to click on the folder inside, and I'm going to upload some things. So either I can upload a link or a quiz. So I'm going to create a quiz right now. Okay, so all of this I'm doing as a teacher inside my own library. I can publish that quiz later or assign it to whichever class I want, right? So quick title, World War II is the title. Instructions, please ensure you answer every question. Whatever else it is, I'm just giving an example. Okay, here we are, and this is the quiz detail, and here are the quiz questions. Now I could do different forms of quiz options, fill in the blanks, matching, multiple answer, and so on. So there's a lot to explore as a teacher, and I can create that quiz. Let me just write a short answer. What did you feel that Germany was right in attacking first? Okay, for example. Okay, and I'm going to put a grading here. Okay, grading for this will be, let's say, 2 points. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead, add a new question, right? Saving all changes. I'm just giving you just a quick example. So I've created this quiz under my, and I'll assign it. Okay, quiz. Okay, 1 second. The quiz has errors because I haven't done too much. One moment. I was just giving you examples, so I kept it short. Let's add another matching. First country to surrender in World War II was dash. Okay, I'm going to make it fill in the blanks. Okay, and okay, I'm going to say France. So I have to give the answer because that's how they will know that the grading can happen automatically, right? So I'm going to say assign. Do I have still errors? No. Assign to, no options found. So assign to either so many students under me, Atul, Alia, Agarwal, to my history class. And let's put a due date on it. So I'm going to say due by 1st July and 60 minutes, and do I have to lock it after, and so on, right? Randomized questions, add to grade book in the progress, show results to students upon completion, assign, right? So now it's assigned to my history class. Now if I log in as a student, I'm going to see that I have been assigned a quiz which ends on a so-and-so date, right? And I don't even have to assign it. I can keep it in my library and decide to do it sometime later. So here I was inside my library as a teacher. I can add a folder here, okay, which I just showed you that, sorry. I can add a file upload here, a Word document, Excel sheet, PowerPoint presentation. Anything can be added here, right? So this is your own library. It's like your cupboard of files, right? Okay. Now coming to home, back to my college before I enter a class. So like this, you can create many classes, many questions, right? And it brings it right in front of me that I've just created a quiz and I've assigned it to a certain class and it's due tomorrow, right? I know it's due tomorrow and I have 0 submissions. If I go to my student account, do a submission, I will get sort of a, here instead of 0 submissions, it will say 1 submission. So here is what it is to create a class and do various things in it. Let me take a few questions before I go forward. Yeah. Sharmeen, no. Edmodo and Kahoot are not similar. Kahoot only allows you to do interesting things like quizzes and so on and so forth. It does not keep your class together. Again, which is better, Google Classroom or Edmodo? Really, it is for you all to understand and see which one you're comfortable with. So if your school has taken a Google Classroom, a G Suite option, then of course you can take Google Classroom. It is really what you're comfortable with. You know, it's like you're asking me, what do you like, Pepsi or Coke? Really, it's really about that, right? Where are the files saved, Nikita? If they're saved in my library, and I'll show you that again. How do you give long questions, which are paragraph answers? Prasad, where I had the other options for quiz, there was also long and short, right? What other questions do we have? Okay, let me go back to class and go back to Edmodo. Okay, so here we were. So we created a class once again for all of you. You go to my classes, you can create a class or even join a class, right? Even as a teacher, you could probably join a class. Maybe you're having a group discussion or so on. But teachers primarily tend to use something called groups. Okay, so let's talk about groups, and we'll come to the differences between a group and a class. I'm going to create a group. Okay, my group says college festival. Okay, describe your class. For all those volunteering, help make the college festival a success, right? So this is my group. I'm creating a group of a few teachers, not just students. Select grade. I wanted to select adult education, or actually this time I'll select a range. So I'm going to select adult education and 12th grade. Pick a subject. I think creative arts, I'm going to say all, right? And who can join this group? Private to members, private to all, public to all teachers, right? So I'm going to say public to all teachers and create it. Okay, so I'd created a few other groups earlier as well. Let me see all my groups. College festival planning. Here is my college festival. Now I'd like to have this with all the teachers, along with the 12th graders and adult education, or whoever is there in college and so on, because the college festival, we'd like them all to culminate the energies together. And so I'd like to create a group for the same, right? Now this group is going to be able to, it'll have the management committee who's going to bring in the sponsors and so on and so forth. So I can always say, let's all put our thoughts together on who was good with what. So can you all please fill in your names against what you are good with. Okay, maybe the teachers don't have to participate in terms of, they don't have to be actively involved in trying to put their hands together on it, but they should be able to view it. So we'd like them on the group, right? So graphics, right? So every college festival needs some graphic work. Who's good in marketing can bring in sponsors. Who is good with let's say, what else do we need? food and beverage organization, right? Stalls, uh, music compiling, inviting other schools, colleges, and so on, right? Okay, so I'm going to fill in all this, and I've written that whoever is a part of this, whoever is good in any of this, can please put in their names against this. So I'm going to post this on College Festival, right? And anyone can start writing. Now in comments, I'm going to get comments about, somebody will say, Manik Chandra will say, okay, ma'am, I'm good in graphics. And somebody else will say, I can, I know a good music band, and so on. So everyone start putting their energies together onto this. So this is a group, right? This is not my class, but I've collected a group. Now the group could be the principal with 4 of the teachers who are going to collectively decide, whether that's the future of the college or important conferences coming up. So it's not just for student to teacher, it's also along with that for teachers to sort of, training programs for teachers and so on. So for that we need a group, right? So we can assign it, we can either assign a group, or we can create a group with only 5 people in the entire college, and we would click on group and we will copy this, and I will send it to the only 5 teachers who I want to be a part of, right? So it doesn't have to be open, to a grade as well at all. We can remove that grade completely, and we can be a part of this. Now let's see what we have here. Create assignment, quiz, jumpstart activity. Yes, why don't we create a jumpstart activity, right? So again, what we try to do at MakkSkills is that in 1 hour we try to teach you so many things that you can do with the software, but remember that you must go and explore on your own later as well. So you've created a class, you've created a group, and you've understood how you can either load an assignment or create a quiz. We've done both of them, right? Okay, the one thing I did want to tell you is that why is it that, okay, here are my, when I click on next to home, this says classes. These are all my classes, okay? And on the right side, it says what is due. The history class subject, the quiz that we'd assigned is due. So I get a sense of what's going on. So on top of that, I can also see class management. I can see all my classes, stories by Rabindranath Tagore. Please read this. Anything that I've commented anywhere, and it shows me that I've commented this in English. I have commented Instagram marketing for college, in project media relations, and so on. So it tells me what all about whatever's going on, right? It also tells me any scheduled assignments are coming up, or anything has to be assigned by me, right? Coming back to the home page, and we talked about the library as well. Before I see the questions, I'd like to tell you 2 things here. So do you remember that when we were filling in the profile, I did talk about how you can put in your interests, and there was a reason we did that, right? Now, if I go to discover, firstly, there is a lot of conversations on discover that you can search. The stories that are happening, social emotional learning, it says 4,028 teachers find this useful. Okay, so you might want to sort of read through it. What are other teachers reading about, right? Shared by teachers on Edmodo. You have access to a lot of other teacher information in terms of teaching, right? Whether it's, somebody shared some Choo Choo TV video, which might be fun for children. 3 sheep caring, sharing, and helping, right? So a lot of educational videos that people are using via Edmodo are available to you here. And you can also review what are the other teachers posting about. Now, talking of other teachers, when I go to my home page, okay, 2-3 things come in here. On the right side, can you see popular conversations, right? On the right side, you'll see popular conversations. So you can click on this link to know what is happening in the world. Now, you remember that I had put in my info that my interests are math and science. Now, anything that has a hashtag of math and science is also visible to me here, and it's also visible to me here through my page, okay? So there is a teacher, Mr. Preticio, from another part of the world, who has done a hashtag of mathematic, and I'm not sure what language this is, but he has done a post, right? A lot of teachers across the world do use English as well, so you might find a lot of such posts interesting, right? Fabian has done a math problem right here. Me as a math teacher might find that very interesting. So whatever it is that I have put in as my interests, I will get to see on my platform here, and I can always reply back to them saying that I liked what you've shared, and connect with teachers worldwide. And I think that is really bringing the world together in one small spot, right? So Remember, it's now we all are, when it comes to, be it hashtags of Facebook and Instagram or Twitter and trending conversations. Right now, if you go to Twitter, I'm sure there's a hashtag saying live speech by Narendra Modi and so on, Prime Minister's speech, right? So the whole world is talking about a particular topic and they tend to hashtag it. So similarly, if you're putting any material which is generic to math, or something about Einstein or anything which is, you've solved and you think that's an interesting math problem. For example, I'm giving a math example of math. You can always hashtag math, and any teacher in the world using Edmodo who has shown interest in the topic math will get to see your problem solving or whatever post that you've done. So isn't that really interesting? That really brings the world much, much closer. And these popular conversations are the ones that are trending, right? I'm going to stop and see what the chat questions are before I close the conversation on Edmodo. Just a moment. Shama Dubey, no, there is no limit of the group. You can have a smaller group, you can have a bigger group. Sushma Roda, no, you can't take a live class on Edmodo, but you can record yourself and post it. So that's the thing between, you were asking Google Classroom and Edmodo. I would say that you should use Edmodo along with a tool like either Google Meet or Zoom, which allows you to have an interaction with your children, with your students, wherein you're having a video interaction, and then continue to have a program like Edmodo wherein you're managing the entire class, right? The group is created within the class? No, Vibha, the group is not created within the class, ma'am. There are something called classes, it's something called groups. Groups are absolutely independent of classes, okay? Lakbir Verma is asking if there's any time limit. No, there isn't a time limit, ma'am. This is like a Facebook software. You can be on it for as long as you want. Again, I'm getting this question too often. Google Classroom is better or Edmodo? Priya and many of you've asked me this question time and again. I'd like to say it's really what you're comfortable with. I personally can say that I prefer Edmodo, but it's really what you get comfortable with, right? I think it leaves the children feeling more comfortable to reach out to you as well. It's really what you're good with. You can grade and quiz in both. The features are 99% here and there, so it's really what it is. Any limit, I've already answered that. Okay, perfect. So I think I've answered most of the questions. Let me get back to 2-3 things that I do want to tell you. So we were talking about, Edmodo's top features. Okay, security. As teachers, you're very concerned about security, right? So we did tell you, students can join a class only with your code, and all communications are archived. Teacher has a control of everything, right? Now, this is a very important slide for you all to see, since you all have seen classes and groups, both the things. Classes are used for your classroom with your students, right? Groups are used for any teacher-to-teacher groups, for teacher collaboration, professional development, training, anything else. Your principal could put you on a training program, and then you need a group for that, right? A class is a dedicated space to engage your students and keeps the parent informed. Groups, you cannot have 2 groups of classes with the same name. No, you can't. Okay. Within your class, it is possible to send notes, quizzes, assignments, and polls, and we've seen all of that. Group is a dedicated space for teacher professional groups, development, teacher training with others, right? And this is what it was, right? I'm going to stop sharing here. Just go back one more time to Edmodo, right? So classes are classes and groups are groups. They are absolutely different. Classes are for you with your students. Groups could be for anyone at all. You can filter posts here by latest posts or polls or quizzes if you're looking for something and you can't find it. Excuse me. If you only want class activity and you don't want any of those, the hashtag conversations coming up or what is happening in the world, and right now you have too many posts coming in and you want to focus on only the class activity. So yes, you can put this on, right? And you can be a part of it, right? Or you can put it off and then you can see everything else, right? Here is the Edmodo planner. It's always handy to you on your right. Just a moment, it's going to open up right now. Also here, notifications, right? So of course you can search for anything, notifications, it's going to open up now. I think the internet might be a little slow. R. Chopra is now a member of history. Ruchi Chopra submitted the quiz grammar vowels. This was done in my previous class 20 days ago. Ruchi Chopra submitted the quiz stories written by Rabindranath Tagore. Deepa Hirani and Jessie replied to your post coronavirus, when will it be here? When will the vaccine be here? Sorry, corona vaccine, and so on and so forth. So you can see the notifications that are coming to you. Maybe Selena has submitted her quiz or somebody hasn't, and you can say, okay, great, I was waiting for one last student and now she's done it. Great. So now I can close the thing. So you can search for anything that you like, right? Everything has a search panel. So we've discussed everything: home, classes, discover, library, and messages. Now coming to messages. So as a student, you can write a message to your teacher and vice versa, right? So Ruchi was my student and I can write to her, and I've sent her a message earlier. Your grades are dropping. Don't worry. I can take a one-on-one class with you if you'd like, right? So if you see a student is doing really well, maybe you can write to them about something encouraging, or of course you can always write to them saying that you need to do a little better. Here I have a Ruchi parent. Your daughter is selected for an inter-school competition. We would like to have you. Now this is a case where a parent is a part of the Edmodo board, so you can always write to the parent directly as well, right? So you're all educators of different age groups. So the parent or no parent comes to your view. Here, if I do a plus sign, I can always write to anybody. So let's see if I have other students. Do I have other students here? Okay, Aishwarya. Okay, Aishwarya Bharat is a student, and I can write to her, or I can send her a particular link to fill a form, or I can send her a fun science video because maybe she's not understanding something. Oh, the video is too long to send on a message. That I understand. So I can send her a message about Aishwarya. You are doing well, but you need to also enjoy the outdoor activities, right? So some students are bookworms and they don't get out at all. As a teacher, you'll be concerned that the growth, they have to sort of grow in in multi ways, not just in studies. So you can drop a message to her and she can reply back to you. So this is really what it is about Edmodo that I wanted to inform you in the class that we have. I'm going to just stop sharing screen now. Okay. Ambika, how do we get notifications about the activities of Edmodo? That's what I just showed you. I'm sorry, I didn't follow your question. Isn't that what you asked? Nikita's asked, how do you connect your parents to this class? So you also have an option of a parent account, right? So and why don't I show that to you? One moment, Nikita. So here, Nikita, if I sign out, right? If I just log out from here, I log out. Okay. And when I'm signing up, I can sign in as a parent account. Okay. This is my email. Sign up now. +91 and whatever my number is, right? Or I can just do an email and put in my password, and I can have a parent account, right? Create your account, and then it'll of course ask me whose parent I am. So a few parents can get. I'll just not save this. It's loading Edmodo on a parent. So this is my name. I'm just going to write another name because there's too many people by accounts by my name right now. Okay, so this is a parent account. Oh, okay, parent code, right? So you get a parent code once you have a class when you're a student and you get into it. How to find a parent code? You have that guide right here as well. So you can write in your child's name and you can get a parent code as well. Log into your student account and you can find the parent code there and you can put in that parent code. So you get all the details. Sorry, this is not, yeah. You get all the details as a parent, right? So this is going to be your parent code, whatever it is, and you connect and you will be able to see whatever the teacher wants to show you. So as a parent, you'll have one child or two children. Both can be a part of it. You might have a child who's in grade 4 and you might have a child who's in grade 9, right? So that's really what it is from my end. I do want to tell you all that we have, in this group, a few teachers who primarily prefer Hindi as the language for teaching. So after a 1-hour session, which is in the next 3 minutes, we will be teaching for 10 minutes only in Hindi, right? So I'm going to continue this class and we're going to do this in Hindi. So just want to inform you all. So all of you, the rest of you, whoever's happy with the English class, you are free to leave, and only the ones who want to sort of stay on for the 10-minute Hindi session can do that. Okay. Thanks, Charmeen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you all. So that's all from me from MakkSkills. All of those who are here for the English class, in the sense that you want to learn with English, you can leave. And we will be sending you the details in terms of, we will be sending you the same thing, the Zoom link for tomorrow. Tomorrow onwards, the classes will be 4 to 5 only, right? Today was an exception. And also, we will be sending you a test link. I hope yesterday's test is being done by most of you. We've been watching. Thank you so much. And for those of you who would like to stay, I'm going to give you 1 minute. I'm going to drink some water. So I'll be back in exactly a minute.